will.
Hello everyone. My name is Rebecca Vanderheiden. I am the Egg in the Classroom coordinator here in Scott County, Iowa for Riverbend Egg in the Classroom. I'd also like to mention the Iowa Egg Literacy Foundation and the Iowa Turkey Federation. And today we're going to be talking to a local turkey farmer and learn about his turkeys. So let's get started.
Hi, I'm Ron Kardel. We're on a farm here in Scott County. This farm was actually homesteaded by my ancestors in the 1850s. So on this farm we raise corn, and soybeans, and turkeys. So this is, and I have the thrill this year of raising the flock for the President of the United States. So, and also I live here with my wife Susie, who's married for a very long time.
All right, so we're gonna kind of look around the corner here, and these are your turkey barns. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Okay, those turkey barns where we raise the commercial turkeys are very similar to the one here where we have the presidential turkeys. The only fact is that they're bigger because there's more turkeys in there. The buildings are sized to the number of turkeys that are placed in them. So, and the building where the commercial turkeys are raised is also more automated as far as the feeding and the watering and things like that. Because there's so few turkeys in here, it's done by hand and done by me, but it's just a smaller version of the same thing.
Perfect. And then behind you is, can we talk about this building?
Okay, this building was built just for the presidential flock. It's 10 feet wide and 24 feet long, and it's all turkeys are kept inside a building for disease reasons, to prevent diseases, to prevent predators, and to keep out anything that we don't want. So this building was built and sized just for the fact we were going to have many fewer turkeys and to keep it looking pristine.
Perfect. So then, let's see. Can you tell us more about the National Thanksgiving turkeys? What are they going to do in Washington, D.C.?
Okay, every year for the past 73 years, the White House has issued an invitation for turkeys to attend a ceremony in the White House. It's kind of the unofficial start of the holiday season. And so this year, we have the honor of raising them because I'm currently the chairman of the National Turkey Federation. And that's been the tradition in the past, is that the chairman's state or the chairman themselves raise the turkeys. So these turkeys will leave here the week of Thanksgiving. They'll travel to Washington, D.C. in a van. They will get red carpet treatment going up into the Willard Hotel, which is about a block from the White House. And they get a room all to themselves, and then they will get presented at the White House to the President of the United States at a ceremony. It has, weather permitting, it's in the Rose Garden.
So can you briefly say what is the difference between the turkey barn and the National Turkey Shed?
Between a commercial turkey barn?
Yes.
Realistically, it's just a matter of the size. This is smaller because there's fewer turkeys. It's all, the size of the building is dependent upon how many turkeys you put in it.
So then this building, the turkeys are very comfortable. It's temperature controlled, and you protect them from predators as well, right?
Correct. That's why predominantly all livestock is moved indoors, for disease prevention reasons. So, for example, wild birds can bring diseases. Migratory birds can bring diseases. By putting them in a building, you control the ability of predators to get at them, as well as disease, and to provide them with 100% the environment that is most favorable for them, whether it's temperature, whether it's the ability to cool them, or the ability to keep them warm in the winter. So in the summer, our buildings they have fans, they have sprinklers, so we keep the turkeys cool. The sides go up and down to regulate the temperature, and in the winter, they're heated so that it stays ideal for them to grow and be happy and prosper and healthy.
Okay, we have one question. Do you know how has the ceremony been taking place in Washington, D.C.?
This will be the 73rd time that it's been done, and I think it's 13 to 15 administrations, but it's been done every year for 73 years. Yep.
Very cool. All right, so I think that maybe we should go inside and check out these turkeys.
Come in, let's go see what we got in here. We're not hiding them.
All right. Well, hello there.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
Should we take a closer look?
You bet. Let's go in. We'll see if we can have some friends in here.
Okay, we're gonna go this way. Here they are. How many turkeys are in here?
So right now we have 7, and the red item that you see is where they get a drink, so they can get a drink of water whenever they want.
So they always have access to water.
Always have access to water.
What about their food?
And their feed is in this green thing right here. And this is what turkey feed looks like. So the feed is predominantly a mixture of corn and soybean meal, but then just like any recipe for any food that we eat, there's also like amino acids and vitamins and things that allow the turkey to grow and be healthy. A turkey in its life goes through 8 different rations. And predominantly when they're young, it's very high in protein, so they can build bone mass, body structure. And then as they get older, the protein levels go down and the energy levels go up so that you produce meat, because that's the whole purpose of why a turkey is raised, is to provide nutritious food. And it's no different than what everybody's parents do when they're growing up. A balanced diet with all the necessary and nutrients to produce happy, healthy children.
Perfect. Okay, we have another question. Where will the pardoned turkey go afterwards?
Well, after the ceremony at the White House, they will be put back in a van, and they will be taken to Iowa State University. And there, the university has built a special building and a special place, special room for them to live, and they will be used for educational purposes, for teaching students and interactive, and they will live out their natural life in Ames, Iowa, at Iowa State University.
Okay, we have another good question. How long does it take the turkeys? Oh, they're gobbling a little bit. How long does it take for turkeys to get to market weight?
Well, obviously it depends on what the turkey is being raised for. So these turkeys are all they're boys, and they're called toms. And these are raised predominantly for lunch meat. So these guys will be about 19 weeks old, a normal commercial flock. When they sell, they'll weigh about 42 pounds. And they will go into lunch meat. They will go on sandwiches or in a deli shop or a restaurant. So obviously if there's boys, there has to be girls. And a girl is called a hen. And the hens are smaller, and that's predominantly what everybody has on their Thanksgiving table. And the reason being that these guys, when they're market ready, will weigh about 42 pounds live. And a bird that big won't fit into your average oven at home. Whereas a hen is smaller, and that's what will fit very well and serve many people a Thanksgiving dinner.
Very cool. Okay, so how big are these turkeys now?
Right now, I would say they're between 30 and 35 pounds. Mm-hmm. And so, from my understanding, that's about what a 4 or 5 year old would weigh. So they're about like your average 4 or 5 year old human. They'll weigh, again, 40, 42 pounds when we take them to the White House.
Okay, so why are turkeys white? That was one of the questions I was asked.
That's what's it. So it was accomplished through crossbreeding and to get the white feathers. And the reason for them being created white, when turkeys years ago were predominantly eaten as a whole bird. And when the feathers were brown and you pull the feather out, you leave a brown speck in the skin. So it wasn't very appealing aesthetically, whereas a white feather, when you pull it out, leaves a little bit of white pigment in the skin, so it's not noticeable and you can't see it. It's was strictly an aesthetic thing, but it started so many years ago. It's just stayed. But it's a naturally occurring color of turkeys.
Does the turkey need to be a certain weight, or how can you tell the difference between a male and a female turkey? I think we answered that one. Let's see. Let's read another question. Where do most turkeys hatch in the United States?
Well, they're hatched all over the United States. These turkeys were actually hatched in South Dakota. They were hatched one morning. They were put in a truck and they arrived here early the next morning. So and a baby turkey is called a poult. And so when we get them, they weigh about 2/10 of a pound. So you can see, so these were hatched the middle of July. So they're 16 weeks old. And you can obviously see how much they've grown from an animal that was this big, weighing 2/10 of a pound, to one now that weighs 30 pounds.
Another good question that we got is, how old does a turkey need to be in order to lay an egg?
Well, we've had some, because their accuracy in sexing is 98%. And so we have had some hens in our commercial flocks that have laid eggs. And so that would be when they were 19 to 20 years old, weeks old. But that's an exception to the rule. They need usually many weeks older than that.
Very good. How do they get to the store for you to buy them, for us to buy them?
Well, these turkeys that we raise are, from here they get put on a semi, they get hauled to a harvesting facility where they are, the meat is taken off of the bird. And so from the time they leave here until the time it goes to a processor would be less than 2 weeks. In our facilities it can be a matter of hours.
Okay, we have a really good question. What do turkeys do for fun?
Well, one thing is gobble, obviously, but they entertain each other. They'll play. They'll fight like in fun. They will. I always call them when they're about 4 to 6 weeks old. I call them runway turkeys because they run down the building and they flop their wings, but they can't fly. Turkeys can't fly because of the nature of the way we domesticated them to raise for those large amounts of breast meat. So that's what happens. Just like kids, they tussle with each other and fight and then go off and be friends.
Okay, very good. Okay, Ron, can you tell us a little bit more about how you care for the national Thanksgiving turkeys and all of your turkeys?
Well, just like raising any livestock, you want them to provide them with an environment that is conducive to growth. This building, we have, and in our commercial buildings, we have fans that exhaust, so they have constantly fresh air. We have actually above us is a ceiling fan to circulate the air within the building, and then there's a heat a heat source here. Should it get too cold, which will keep them at the temperature that we set. And this building, because these are special turkeys, extra special turkeys, they even had an air conditioner for this summer when it got hot.
Wow, these turkeys are
So
spoiled.
they're living the good life. And
Yeah, they agree.
They agree.
They're talking to us
They
today.
agree. All right, guys. Don't worry.
How do you prepare your turkeys for the White House?
Okay, so of these, only 2 of these will be lucky enough to make it to Washington, D.C. But so in the interim and during the next few weeks, what we'll do is constantly being in here, interacting with them. So just like a dog or a cat, if you play with them and get them used to you. And we'll also, we'll set up a table and we'll get them used to being set up on a table so that, because that's what the president does when the president pardons him. And so it's more getting them more used to human interaction and the ability to stay where we put them. And so once the president pardons them, which means that they won't be on anybody's Thanksgiving dinner table, they get to live out their natural life in Ames, Iowa.
What are the red things on top of their heads?
Well,
Let's take a
the
closer
one that
look right
comes
here.
out between their eyes is called the snood. And when they strut, when they puff out their feathers, it gets really long, as you can see with this one. The skin around their neck and the part under their beak is called a wattle. And then if you can see, the circular thing on the side is their ear. And it certainly doesn't look like a human ear, but that is their ear. And now if I can get over here and get a hold of one. And here, they actually have a beard. And these are boys.
They have a beard.
They have a beard,
Yeah.
which is like, you gotta settle down, buddy. So it's, you can see it's the black. Oh, come on. Oops. Okay.
I think they got to see a little
Yeah.
bit.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, do you name your turkeys? That's
They're
a
all
great
named-
question.
They're all named Tom.
They're all named
Because
Tom.
boy turkeys are called Toms and girl turkeys are called Hens.
Do turkeys only gobble or do they make other sounds?
Oh, they make all kinds of sounds. There's a noise they make when it must be like warning, because they will do it and then all the turkeys around them will run and scatter. There's a clucking sound they make when they're happy. There's the gobble sound that they make when they're trying to show off and strut. No, there's again no different than humans, pets, whatever. You can tell their mood by the sounds that they make.
Very good. Do you grow your own feed for your turkeys?
Our feed comes through a commercial feed mill, and sometimes, yes, we utilize our own corn, but the soybean meal is all purchased, and then obviously the vitamins and the amino acids and so on is also a purchased item. And we need to buy additional grain other than what we feed our turkeys.
Why did you decide to become a turkey farmer?
That's a good question. So this farm, having been in our family for 170 years, has evolved like all farms. Originally, they raised everything from chickens and cattle and milk cows and so on. And then, but as I was growing up, we fed a lot of cattle. And as that market shifted and as appetites changed and things, we moved to turkeys. The thing that I think is important to understand is all farmers like myself that raise livestock, I like animals. I enjoy being around animals. I like animals. This is, and I'm sure my wife would agree. So it's, there was an evolution of this farm over the last 150 years.
So, 2 of these turkeys are going to go to Washington, D.C. I heard that they're going to stay in a hotel. Is that true?
They are. They get their own room.
I think they're excited about it.
Yeah, see, they will be about a block away from the White House. These 2 turkeys will have their own room, and they will be catered and pampered probably more than any other guest in that hotel for that while we're there. So, no, they have a good life.
Let's look some more questions here. How many turkeys are in your commercial buildings?
We have 9,000 in each building. This farm produces, we start approximately 110,000 turkeys a year here. And to equate that equals about between 4 and 5 million pounds of turkey that we then sell. Right?
How long have you and your family been farmers? Is it fun to be a farmer?
Well, I think it is, yes. As we stated earlier, it was homesteaded here by my ancestors in the 1850s. As far as myself, I don't remember learning things. It was growing up here. It was always something we did, something I enjoyed, and so people ask how long I farm. I'd say my entire life, actively 100% as a full-time farmer. I would say it's been 46 years that I've done this, and I guess the thing is I enjoy it. It's something I enjoy doing.
What is the biggest challenge of being a turkey farmer, and what advice would you give to future turkey farmers?
Well, the health of the bird is always paramount, and as things change, whether it's migratory birds, and the other problem that we have as farmers and livestock in general is the ability to utilize certain medications to treat a disease should we have it. Now you have to understand that these turkeys, just like humans, just like kids, they all get vaccinated for diseases. They get so everything possible that we can do to make them healthy. But nonetheless, some stuff happens, and the need and the ability to utilize certain medications has become much more limited due to government interaction.
Where do most of your turkeys go?
Our turkeys go to West Liberty Foods in West Liberty, Iowa, and that's we're predominantly a deli meat provider to box stores, to restaurant chains, to all a variety of places that sell turkey lunch meat.
Do you feed them wheat, or can turkeys fly? Those are two questions that just popped up.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, they can eat wheat. It's just that here in eastern Iowa, wheat is not common and readily available. But there are places, yeah, they do very, very well on wheat as a protein source. And the second one was?
Can a turkey fly?
Oh, no, they cannot. They have been bred for their breast meat, which has made they're too large in relation to their wingspan. They more or less flop their wings and jump. That's about how much a turkey flies.
Is turkey manure used to fertilize fields like other manure is?
Oh yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, it's not a. Some people call it a waste. Well, it's not a waste. It's a nutrient. It's an ingredient to help grow crop. This farm is again been in the family for a long time, and it's as productive and more productive and more fertile than it's ever been, due to placing the manure on the ground to grow the next crops.
How do turkeys communicate with one another?
Oh, they talk. As you can hear, they gobble. So, but they carry on a conversation, and if so, like to be, there's a noise they make like, and then that means they're scared.
Oh.
You saw how they kind of jumped a little bit.
Yeah.
But they carry on a conversation with each other. We're just not smart enough to understand what. I wish I could understand what they said. It'd make my life a lot easier.
Right. Let's see. Here's another really good question. Will you get to go to D.C. with them and meet the president?
Yes, we do. My wife Susie and I, and our children and grandchildren, get to go into the ceremony at the White House. We get to meet the president, and we actually even get to go in the Oval Office, which I think is a pretty neat deal. And not too many Americans get to go in the Oval Office, and really, really look forward to the experience and to meeting the president and his wife.
Very cool. Let's see here. Okay, this flock is special, but would we normally eat the turkeys you raise on Thanksgiving?
Not really. We buy ours from a local guy that does it. We don't have the ability here to harvest them and do it correctly and safely in a sanitary fashion. So you got to be safe.
What are some kinds of meats that you can get from turkeys?
Oh, I know even West Liberty, whether you can make turkey ham, you can have the breast meat, you can have,
What about some deli?
it could be mesquite smoked, it could be oven roasted, it could be barbecued breast. Those are all types of lunch meat that we make. And then the dark meat is used predominantly in, some of it goes into turkey bologna, and some of it can be utilized like to make fajitas and things like that because it lends itself to flavors.
All right, it looks like we have some people on here. Oh, the turkeys are saying hi too, but Matthew is saying hi from 2nd grade to his papa.
Yeah.
And Grant.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can see.
And Z.
Yeah, there we go. Yep. Will the ceremony will the ceremony be broadcasted so we can watch?
Oh yeah, there'll be. It's pretty amazing because as we talked about, these turkeys get literally a red carpet up into the hotel, and then at the ceremony, there's tons of cameras, tons of video, tons of network people. It's pretty amazing thing to see what goes on and goes into raising 2 turkeys to begin the holiday season.
Will you get another chance to grow the turkeys for the president?
No, this is a one-time event. The chairman of the National Turkey Federation is normally the one that raises the turkey or someone within that state. So the National Turkey Federation represents a vast majority of the turkey industry, like 98%, and that's from the baby poult suppliers, to the growers, to the processors, to allied people that provide the equipment like you see inside this building. So it's that honor goes to the chairman of the National Turkey Federation every year, and that's a 1-year term.
Okay, we have another question. Are the turkeys able to bite people?
Not really, no. They have a beak, they don't have teeth, and no, they
We'll zoom in a little
they
bit.
really don't bite.
They're pretty cute.
They're very patriotic, red, white, and blue.
All right, so I think this is to conclude our farm chat. Thank you so much, Ron, for doing this with us today. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we log off today?
I'd like to say hi to our grandchildren in Reston, Virginia, and some other grandchildren in Alpharetta, Georgia. And I guess the thing I would like to emphasize is that we take excellent care of our turkeys for 2 reasons. 1, it's the right thing to do. And 2, it provides our livelihood. This is how we make a living, and it is in our best interest and our benefit to take as good a care of them as humanly possible. And with that, thank you for watching. It was very interesting.
Thank you, Ron. And we'll see these turkeys later. So everybody have a great day.